Welcome to Subramani. I'm not very sure if you are an Indian viewer, you have heard of the word the latte factor, LATTE factor. This was coined in US about maybe 15 years ago, and it just says a lot of trivial expenses that you do actually could have helped you in retiring early or achieving your goals better. So there's a lot of money down the drain, so to say, because of the fact that you are spending money on trivial things. So the latter factor is just to say that if you had not spent so much money on coffee, you would have $1 million. Or what Susie Orman said in her show a few months ago, or maybe a year ago, is she said you are peeing down the drain $1 million US. Now let us come to, I do agree that where if you can spend rupees 100 instead of spending 200, you should do that. It makes sense, but try talking sense to some of the younger people about what is sensible and what is not. Like try convincing a 23-year-old or a 24-year-old who has just got a nice big job that it is not worth paying 23,000 rupees for a handbag. And the question is recoil, it's my money, right? So though I do agree that many times we do feel that we should not be spending on these things, some of us will have some indulgences, right? I'm not a big fan of American coffee in American shops, but I might still visit them and or visit some other place where you eat something because you're sitting with somebody else, right? You know, what you're eating is not healthy, definitely, and what it is doing to your purse is it is damaging. But whether it is $1 million is something which I would like to question, even in UK or US kind of conditions, right? In fact, David Back, who coined the word, I think wrote a book also called The Latte Factor, right? So it's readable if you like the American way of writing. It is not readable if you like the English way of writing. But Susie Orman also, let me quote what Susie Orman said. I think she said if you spend £100 or $100 a month on coffee, instead of this, if you had invested, then you would this would have become $1 million with a 12% return after 40 years. Now, to assume 12% return over 40 years in US is, if anything, super ambitious, right? If she were to give this working to SEBI would clamp down on her, saying this is a wrong assumption. 12% is impossible to achieve. Even with 7% return, it should be something like $300,000 or $275,000. That's again not bad, but it's not $1 million, right? And $1 million after 40 years is $1 million after 40 years, right? It is like what a millionaire, the word millionaire is a very old word. So 40 years ago, being a millionaire meant something very different from what it means today. Today you hear regularly of $1 million bonuses even in India, right? So it's not the same thing. But I do think that if you sit down and calculate, these kind of returns are not really going to happen. And the latter factor is useful for saying I don't spend money on trivia because I want to retire early, so I have a goal. So it looks a little more respectable than saying, oh, he's a tightwad, kanjoos hai, kuch kharcha nahi karta. That kind of comment you can save. But I wouldn't push myself so hard, nor would I push younger people to say, you know, save this and such and such a thing will happen, because you will go out, you will have your coffee, you will eat out, right? So even after so many years, after 15 years after the word latte factor was coined, even now I think $5 for a coffee is pretty high, because even today in Starbucks, a latte, you can have a latte for less than $3, right? So it is first of all 3 and not 5, and 11-12% kind of a return is really great to assume. I mean, that Buffett kind of return in dollar terms not something which people are going to achieve. Post inflation, if people achieve 2% or 3%, that would be great, right? It is just amazing if you can achieve that, and that's what you will achieve. So that is also not true. It is not 12%, 11%, 12% return. 12% what Susie Orman assumed, and 11% is what back as assumed, right? So you will compound that money at 5%, and you will still reach $150,000 or pounds, whatever you want to take it as. It is a nice amount, but it is not a million, and it is not a million after 40 years. So you have to provide for inflation also in this. So I don't know whether the assumption is right, but basically, principally, yes, to assume that yes, if I don't spend money on trivia, it could be anything. You walk to your wife has sent you to buy grocery, and you, along with the grocery, you pick a t-shirt which becomes the 21st t-shirt in your house, out of which 8 are unused or unopened. Yes, those kind of wastage you can avoid, but if once the lockdown is lifted, won't we go out and meet friends over a beer or coffee or something? We will, and we will spend that money. I don't think that will go away just because you want to retire early. Try telling a younger person, don't buy that camera for 2 lakhs or don't buy that motorcycle for 3 lakhs. It's not going to happen. People are going to spend because ultimately they want to be alive, right? What is the point in saying I will do all this at 40 and dying at 39, right? So I don't think we are going to be very particular about saving every rupee or saving every dollar, right? So is it a $1 million coffee that you're drinking? Answer is no. Is it even a $1 million rupee coffee that you're drinking? Maybe yes. Will you exchange it for having $1 million after 40 years? Which means if you are reading this article and you're 30, you will have that extra money at the age of 70. So is there something called a current satisfaction and satisfaction at the age of 70? I am not saying you will do this every day. Going to a Starbucks and having a $3 coffee, which is what, about $200 even in India. That's what a coffee will cost if you have if you simply have a coffee. Would you do that? Would you go to Starbucks every day and have a coffee? I don't think so, right? I mean, making coffee at home is great fun. Why would you not make coffee at home if you are such a big lover of coffee? Yes, occasionally you will go to Starbucks, occasionally you will go to some other restaurant, you will eat, you will go with friends, you will do all that. You will have a takeaway, you will go to Subway and have sandwich. So it's not impossible that you spend, and it is not that you will do it every day, right? So I do think that principally some people know right in their bones that they should not be spending money on trivia, whether it is an extra unnecessary t-shirt or shirt or an extra coffee at Starbucks or any of those things. It does not really matter if you are on your way and you do this once in a while. But will we do it regularly? I don't think so. But knowing that these kind of trivial expenses also add up, it is a fantastic exercise to sit down either by yourself or with your spouse and children and start writing down what money you're spending and where you're spending. The best way to create wealth is to first track what you're doing. So a great exercise for almost all couples, and if you're not married with your parents, doing this exercise with your parents, is first sit down and write all what you think you're spending on food, on istriwala, on society charges is something which you will know, and all those expenses. Write it down from imagination, and then next 3 months write down these expenses on an actual basis and see what was your perception and what really happens. That gives you a good hang on where your money is going. Once you know where your money is going, you start tracking it mentally, if not actually physically. So writing this down over a 3-month period, it's not very easy, but it is possible to do it. Or you sit down every day and write down your expenses and jot down your expenses. Do this for 3 months. End of 3 months compared to what you have written on the first day, you will see the gap. That will give you a better hang, and you will start monitoring your expenses far more smartly. You can do the same thing with the food that you consume also, but that I think is a different video. We will do that separately about food. Thank you.